This is the all-new 2025 Ford Expedition, and in this video, I'm going to cover 10 hidden features of this all-new SUV. Starting off with the front camera. Did you know that most of these Expeditions have a 360-degree camera? Basically, cameras all the way around so you can see when you're parking. But you're going to notice that there's no way to effectively clean this front lens. And I thought that was really strange. Because when you take a look at the rear view camera, you're going to notice there's a nozzle directly underneath that. It serves a very important function. When you take the steering stalk and turn this knob backwards, it automatically sprays windshield wiper fluid directly to the camera, cleaning it off. What's so interesting to me is why do they not have that same feature for the front camera? The next hidden feature on the new Expedition is an interesting one that I learned myself while prepping for this video. Everybody knows these high-end Expeditions have got the B&O audio system in it. But did you know that this system has a Biosonic Soundscapes system? It's a really stupid name, but it is a pretty important and neat little feature. Coming into the actual vehicle here, come down into your settings to adjust your sound. From here, you can change the tone like you normally would, and it would look something like this. But the Biosonic sound system now has presets for whatever type of music that you're listening to. Whether you're wanting some music where you're just lounging back and just chilling out, or you want some party music going on, or podcast, or you just want something neutral, you have a custom tone or a warmth for your music, no matter what you're listening to. But if you can't find it exactly the way you want to, you can actually tone it in exactly where you want to. Then you can come in here and save your custom preset. That is a cool feature that most people would never find out about their new Expedition. Everybody knows that the new Expedition is set up for towing. In fact, you can even see it right here. This vehicle is equipped with a trailer brake controller integrated into the system. And you even have your Pro Trailer backup knob located perfectly in your line. So that way you can back your trailer up, no questions asked. A lot of people know that. It's not really hidden. But what I think is really cool is you may not realize the Expedition has a trailer checking mode where you can actually tell if one of the brake lights or the turn signals in your trailer is out. It's designed for hooking up a trailer when you're by yourself, and when you enter into this mode, you press the button, you hop out back, and you can see what lights are operating and which ones aren't. It's a really neat feature to make towing just a little bit easier. For 2025, the headline feature of the new Expedition is the power split gate, but there's a really interesting function with that. Now, if you happen to open this button right here by pressing the button, notice how it will automatically open up just the top half. It doesn't open up the bottom half. You can press the button down here. There's a really cool hidden feature inside of this, but if you close the thing back, you'll notice that on the key fob, there's actually a button that allows you to double tap it, and when you do, it's going to open up all of them both and together. But let's say you don't want that feature. Let's say you only want the top half to open up when you're hitting this key fob. Let me show you how you can customize that. The first thing you need to do is come inside the vehicle and take a look inside the infotainment system. When you click on this little vehicle icon, it gives you a bunch of settings. Scroll all the way down and click Settings itself, and then scroll down until you see Power Split Gate. From here, there's a key fob button. And you'll see when you use the key fob right now, it's going to do the lift gate and the tailgate. If you don't want all your stuff to slide out when you use the key fob, just select the top option. And now that we've made that change, all you have to do is double tap on the key fob, and it's only going to open up the top half. That's a beautiful setting and a beautiful way to tweak a great feature. That way you don't have to worry about all your kids' stuff spilling out every time you open it up with the key fob. The next hidden feature is something that I don't think should be hidden. It's called global windows. And let's pretend for a second it's 100 degrees outside. You've got a black vehicle, which looks amazing, by the way, but it's black and it tracks a whole lot of heat. The interior is black as well. And let's say you're walking to the car, you're like, hey, it's 100 degrees out here. I know it's 140 inside of there. That's okay. There's an easy way to roll all the windows down and let all of that heat escape. If you tap and then hold the unlock button, all four windows will automatically roll down, no questions asked. It's a great way to make sure this thing is not going to give you a heat stroke when you get into it in the dead of summer. The next hidden feature isn't hidden for all vehicles, but it's the very first time Ford has given this to us in a gas vehicle, and that's called Phone as a Key. Now, this is going to be in select trim levels, so make sure that you're aware of that before you buy one. But the new Expedition has the ability to utilize your cell phone as your entire key. And it looks pretty simple. You just hook up the Ford Pass app, you connect the vehicle, and then start pairing your phone to the vehicle itself. In fact, I'm gonna go ahead and finish up the setup inside the vehicle. From here, it's gonna ask me to copy and paste the Bluetooth code to pair to your vehicle. I'm gonna go ahead and copy that, and it should automatically get me set up. So that way I can actually ditch the key itself located right here. Paste that code into the Bluetooth pairing request. And now my phone is set up as a key. I can literally leave both of my sets of keys at home and just simply use my phone as a key everywhere I go. But you might be wondering, what happens if your phone is completely dead or you can't access it? You can create a startup backup code. You type in here and say, hey, I want to create this key. I want to go ahead and name this right here. And so let's say I want to create my password is IM63. I could do that. And every time I type that into this particular vehicle, it'll automatically crank up for me as long as you meet these specific parameters. But it is really, really nice because now you have the ability to come in here and even affect with the controls of the vehicle. You can even remotely open up that hatch straight here from your smartphone. It's a pretty cool setup, and I'm so glad Ford has given this to us in the Expedition, because last time we've seen this, it's been reserved exclusively for the EV vehicles like the Mustang Mach-E and the Ford F-150 Lightning. Thank you, Ford, for bringing this to the new Expedition. The next hidden feature on the new Ford Expedition also happens to be with that Ford Pass app. Did you know that if someone is trying to steal the vehicle, the very first thing most people would do is they would cut access to the horn, so that way it's not debuting to the world, I'm getting stolen, I'm getting stolen. Well, Ford has thought through that, and they have something that actually works just as good. They can give you an alert directly to your cell phone. Even if they've cut the access to the horn, if someone reaches in or smashes a window or just in general sets the alarm off just like I did, I just got a notification on my phone that my alarm is going off. In the back of the new Expedition, this is where you access a couple of different things, and this is quite interesting. You probably don't realize this, but when you open up both of the tailgates, you can actually see that there's going to be a little carpeted area. When you lift this up, there's a couple of access points to a couple of different things. Number one, you've got a rubberized grommet down in here, which is where you can actually access to lower the spare tire for the vehicle. But that's not the hidden feature.
Today, Junior?
Most vehicles nowadays actually have a spare tire. But what is so interesting to me is going to be located right here where the rest of the jack is. Down in here, you have got this little doohickey right here. You might be wondering, what in the world is this? This is the Easy Fuel capless filler system. So that way, if you run out of gas, you can put this into the tank and you can use it to pour gas into it. But did you know that Ford did not design this just for gas? Did you know that this is actually designed to help you scrape ice off of your window when you don't have an ice scraper in the vehicle with you? You've always got one if you've got a brand new Ford Expedition. I'm so thankful Ford Motor Company gave us the keyless entry keypad located in the B-pillar of almost every one of these Expeditions. But what you may not realize is that Ford doesn't ship a factory code like a key card like they used to in these vehicles nowadays. Now it's up to the dealers themselves or the customers to find out what the original door code was. From there, then you can add a custom code that you'll remember quite frequently. But let me show you, how do you get that factory trained code that is in the brain of this vehicle for the rest of its lifetime. On the inside of the vehicle, in the center console, there's going to be an area down here. You're going to want to pull this little piece of plastic rubber out of there, and you're going to notice there's a little slot that looks like it's dedicated for a key to rest on. That's exactly what it's for. You rest the first key on that, and you're going to press the engine start stop button. Make sure your foot's not on the brakes, you don't actually crank it up. Then you're going to press it again to turn it off. Then you're going to take that key out, you're going to replace it with the second key and do the same exact thing. When you do that, the factory key card code is going to be popped up right here on the main screen. 59177 is the code for this specific vehicle. Even if you add your own code, your personalized code to the vehicle, if you ever have to unplug the battery, it's going to default back to that factory key code, so you might want to write that down. Now I think it's important to show you exactly how do you change that passcode. code if you wanted to add that personal code. Come in here into the vehicle itself. You're going to want to slide down to settings itself, and you're going to want to go into door keypad code. From here, you type in 59177, and then I can type in whatever I want to. You can erase, add, or you can do a lot of different things with the passcodes. I'm going to add in here, and I'm going to type in 0603. 6'3", I'm missing a digit, so I'm just going to add a 0 at the end. And you have to type it twice, so that way you don't accidentally forget it. Now I've got my secondary keypad. Once again, don't ever lose that factory key code, because you're going to need it one day just in case. And since we're talking about this little area where we place the key, I want to give you a bonus hidden feature on the new Expedition. And that has to do with what happens when this key fob runs out of battery. Well, to prove a point, I'm going to pull the backing off of this key fob to actually show you what I mean. Not only am I going to pull the key fob off, I'm actually going to pull the battery out of this key fob to simulate what happens when the battery runs out of the fob. So now that I've got this out of here, you'll see that when I go to try and start the vehicle, it says no key detected. Notice that we're not making any cuts in the video to prove a point. Even though there's no battery in here, if you set this key on that same tray, now when you crank it up, you can actually crank the vehicle up even though the battery is completely dead or the battery's not in it at all. It's a nice little hidden feature to prove to you that Ford has thought this thing through on the front end. So by now, you probably know that all these Expeditions just about have the new Blue Crew system, the latest and greatest version of it. And a lot of people know that means hands and feet free driving on certain sections of divided road, like the one we're on right here. But what you may not realize is this vehicle has got something called Predictive Speed Assist. And as you can tell, it knows that the speed limit is 70 miles an hour, and it's using GPS data as well as cameras to look at the speed limit signs on the road that I'm driving. But whether I'm on the interstate or not, whether I'm using Blue Cruise or not, this Predictive Speed Assist can tell, oh, he's coming around a tight corner, we might need to slow it down a little bit, so that way you can still keep your hands on the steering wheel, but you don't actually have to apply the brake in that particular situation. Let me show you what I mean with this curve that's coming right up. Notice that right here on the instrument cluster, it has that turn, and it knows it, and it's automatically going to adjust my speed. Now, unfortunately, there's a car in front of me, so I can't display it right here, right now, but just know, because I drive this route every single day to work, that it actually will slow down because it's noticing this steep turn in front of me. It's a really neat feature, but if you don't like it, the good news is you can turn it off right here in the instrument cluster. It's a very, very nice setup. The next hidden feature on the new 2025 Ford Expedition is something called Evasive Steering Assist, and it works like this. There are radar sensors and camera sensors all over this vehicle to make sure that it can drive hands-free on the interstate. But what you may not realize that it's constantly observing for the vehicles in front of you and also pedestrians in certain situations. And if you're definitely going to be getting in an accident and the brakes alone are not going to be enough to stop from the accident, Evasive Steering Assist will help you. It will actually help you through this process. So it knows that if you say, oh my gosh, and you start to swerve the steering wheel, the Evasive Steering Assist will help you get around that vehicle in front of you. It will not turn for you, so you don't have to worry about the car swerving all over the place, but it will help you get around that vehicle in front of you, hopefully completely avoiding your next accident. But the good news is, if you don't like that feature at all, you can turn that off very easily inside of this infotainment system. Just go into the vehicle settings, go into the safety and security, and there you go. Turn it right off immediately. The last hidden feature of the new Expedition is the most important, and that's the fact that you can order one of these things at Invoice Pricing exclusively at Town & Country Ford. Give us a call. The phone number is right there on the screen. Thanks so much for watching this video, and have a great day. Peace.